Hi there. It's a new campsite for me, and I'm trying to make fire. It's very windy, so I have to be careful. I want to talk about the fact that we are actually witnessing a cultural change, a cultural shift. Some people are saying that we haven't seen our culture here in the West change this rapidly since World War II. And I've been thinking, in which ways is our culture changing? It's not all for the bad. Maybe it's maybe some good can come out of this. And if you're watching this, I mean years from now, just to put this into context, as I'm speaking, we have effectively a lockdown in Norway and in most of Europe and the USA, Canada. Almost all countries have closed pretty much now. And we are trying to flatten the curve. We don't want people to get sick from the coronavirus at the same time, because the hospitals can't take in that many people. So yeah, but I wasn't going to talk about that. It's obviously we are witnessing tragedies right now, and it's quite horrible actually. Let me just change the camera angle a little bit, and I'll sit down in the hammock. Okay, so I had to move over here. I am sorry about my mistake there. You should never light up the firebox or bush box, as this one is called, right directly on the ground like that. Not very wise to do that. Yes, so we are witnessing a change in our culture. We tend to believe that culture changes gradually, and it does, but it can also change in a matter of days actually. If we look back at history, we can go to the Second World War, occupation of Norway. I'm Norwegian, so my grandmother, she had a different culture and a different attitude to many things, which was probably had to do with the fact that she was a child during the Second World War. Hold on. So she was a lot more frugal, you know. She didn't waste anything. And I think we're actually going to see a tendency towards the same frugality now in our generations. Also, I think that the interaction between men and women will change. Well, not the interaction itself perhaps, but the player will not be as popular. Maybe he never was, but at least he won't be popular now. And the provider, someone who is sensible, who has a solid grasp of his financials, will be a lot more will be viewed as a better man. I'm going to just put it there, and I'm going back to the hammock. I think we're also going to see a lot more skepticism in general. For instance, skepticism towards our governments. That could happen. If the governments don't behave now, there will be a lot less trust towards the governments after this. We will see skepticism towards international political bodies like the EU and United Nations. We might see a lot more skepticism towards foreign cultures. And please keep in mind that I am not saying that I support or don't support any of the things that I'm saying right now. I'm just saying that I believe that these changes will happen. We are seeing these changes right now as we speak. People are going to value having a family because there is safety, a feeling of safety and belonging in having a family. We are entering a recession now. In Norway, we have had a 200% increase in the unemployment rate? I'm not sure, but it's a lot. And it has happened during the last 2 weeks, so it's a lot. It's quite dramatic, and I think we're seeing the same in other countries as well. So those who still have a job when this is over are going to do their best to keep that job, because they will know that there are several other people who are ready to step in if they underperform in their job. So people will start to work even harder after this. I also think that we will have two opposites working together, and I'll try to explain what I mean by that. On one hand, you will have the idea that you need safety, you need to take care of yourself and your loved ones, your family, and so you'll stay to yourself in a way, and stay inside more maybe than you used to. At the same time, you will value your freedom more than you used to, because if you now are confined to your apartment, the governments are now restricting how much you can move about. You can't just walk around as you used to, and that is probably the first time in your life that you had such restrictions. So now you are feeling that freedom you can't take freedom for granted. So you will value your freedom after this. I just hope that we will get our freedom back. But that's a matter for a different discussion, I guess. The social distancing that we are expected to practice now will stick. It will not be as pronounced as now. We won't be as strict after this with keeping physical distance to other people, but I think that lots of people will continue keeping a physical distance more than they used to. I mean, in Norway we always do that anyway, but but in countries like Spain, Italy, typically Latin countries, they are much closer. Physically, they are much closer to each other. And I think that might actually change. And this one is quite controversial, I know, but still. I think this is not good news for feminism. Now, don't get me wrong, I support absolutely the principle of having equal opportunities, absolutely. But the kind of feminism that we've seen, the insane kind of feminism, and that we have seen lately, will be viewed as just being unreasonable and ridiculous, which it is. After this, I think it will be very hard to get any understanding anywhere for some of the more radical expressions of feminism, because there are other matters that matter more. I am sure there are others, other changes that we are seeing. Maybe there are, well, there probably are differences between different countries as well. So let us know in the comments if there are any other changes that you are seeing happening right now, or changes that you think are going to happen. So let us know in the comments. One other thing, I think we're going to trade less with China. The jacket and the trousers I'm wearing now, Fjellreven, is made in China. And I'm embarrassed, but I found out that all my outdoors clothes it's all made in China. Sorry. So if you know any outdoors brand, good quality, not made in China, let me know. Okay, have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon. Bye.